Good morning and welcome to Member Focus Monday. I'm Cristina Schaefer, Director of Social Media for HAR, and I'm going to go ahead and pass the show over to you, David, our PR Manager. Oh, it looks like David just froze on us.
An episode.
There he is. You froze on us there, David, right as we got started.
Sorry, I didn't mean to give you the deep freeze there.
No
Anyway,
worries.
we don't do this often, but when we do, it's always a great honor to take the reins of the show from you for 30 minutes or so. Um, Great to kind of turn the tables and get to pick your brain because you are our social media guru. And so much has changed in the social media sphere since we last did one of these. And
Mhm.
definitely feel like it's worth sharing with the membership the latest and greatest, those ever shifting algorithms and what they mean, how to take advantage of them to promote our businesses, and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Well, let me do one thing first of all. We know we see your beautiful face on here every single week without fail. We hear your beautiful voice every week on the podcast. But tell us a little bit about Cristina Schaefer.
I have worked for HAR for a little over 10 years. Most of that was in a training capacity. I taught matrix courses, HAR tools courses, as well as technology and social media. And not so secretly, I was always most excited about the social media classes.
Yep.
When HAR decided they needed a full time social media person, it just made sense for me to take that position. So now, as you mentioned, I host Member Focus Monday every week, right here, 9 a.m. on our Facebook page. You and I co-host the HAR On the Move podcast together. And I work with our communications team to promote various HAR initiatives along with helping the various HAR departments when they're trying to promote their newest offerings.
Well, I wanted to start off with probably one of the most common questions that I know you hear from our Realtor members on a regular basis, and that is, what is the most important platform for Realtors to be on?
So the answer is there's no straight answer to this question. There's a lot of what ifs, and one of the biggest what ifs and questions that I would ask you if you were to ask me that question yourself, David, is it really depends on where your following and engagement is. It's really important, yes, to have a big following. But even more important is the engagement. How many people are actually liking your posts, commenting, sharing, retweeting, whatever the case is? Relationships are built on social media, one small interaction at a time. Those likes, comments, shares are really important, not just for you to give, but also for you to receive. So I would take some time for everyone that's listening to this to evaluate the different platforms that you're currently on and pay attention to the engagement you're getting. A lot of these platforms have different metrics built into them already for you. So it's very easy to tell how well you're doing, right? It's easy to tell how did this post compare to this post and things like that. So I would take some time to evaluate the platforms you're on, see where you're getting the most engagement, and focus on those platforms. For some people, it could be LinkedIn. Maybe you are a newish realtor and you had this whole previous career in a corporate environment and you have a ton of contacts on LinkedIn, right? So maybe it's LinkedIn for some people, maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's Instagram. It really depends on where you're getting that engagement. We're going to mention TikTok a couple times this morning because I've seen several realtors using TikTok. I see them using it with varied success. Also, Instagram Reels are super important. If you don't know, Facebook owns Instagram. And whenever Facebook and Instagram, I know we like to complain when they put out new features, but whenever they put out new features like Reels, for example, they reward you for using them. So they, just as much as you want to promote yourself, well, Instagram wants to promote itself. So their newest big thing are Reels. And if you're using Reels, you're going to see engagement because, again, they're rewarding you for using their latest and greatest thing. So again, I would encourage to answer the question, really, there's no one answer. Every realtor needs to be on XYZ platform. It's really go where your engagement is and pay attention to what people are liking and commenting on, because that's where you're succeeding. I said we're going to mention TikTok a couple times today. I just have to note that it has been the number one downloaded app 3 years running. So if you're not at least on there seeing what people are doing, you're missing out. That could be a really great outlet for someone.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, it's all you hear about anymore. And those are the things that are going viral. Those are the things that are making the news because they are going viral in many cases. We actually have our first viewer question. Bincy asking, "What are your secrets, Cristina, for looking so good on cameras?" He's not going to ask that of me. I'm the cue ball here. But what are the secrets? I've never asked you that.
Well, concealer. You probably don't use concealer, David. And lighting. Lighting is always really important. And I tell realtors, you guys are out in the field, you have access to the best lighting, which is the natural lighting. When you're outside, of course, on a gray day like today, maybe not as much, but when you're out in the field, that's the best opportunity to pull out that camera, pull out that phone, do some short form video, and use the natural lighting, because that's when everybody looks the best.
Yeah, and to your point, earlier when you were responding to the first question, we've always kind of trumpeted the importance of video, and you talked about Reels really catching on, and TikTok, of course, is video based. So it seems to me this is like a natural progression. We started out promoting video, now it's getting video out on the platforms that seem to work best for you. And I think a lot of it, isn't it fair to say a lot of it is trial and error? Like, in theory, you may say one platform is proving to be effective from a marketing standpoint, but a brokerage may be having great success with one in particular.
Yeah, I mean, it really is trial and error and seeing what works best for you. I know somebody she's a social media professional, and she's constantly putting out like social media tips and tricks and different things like that. But the first thing that she ever had go viral was a video of her and her kid singing along to Baby Shark on on TikTok. So you just never know what's going to catch people's eye. Once they find you, they like you, they follow you, then they're going to stick around for the rest of what you have to share.
Well, talk about stating the obvious. You and I have talked about this many times, that so much has changed as a result of the pandemic. And that really applies to social media. But some things that haven't changed, and what are some of the things that people should be doing on social media right now in terms of trends?
Yeah, absolutely. So as we've already mentioned, Video is so important. I encouraged you guys to go look at your metrics and see what's been working and not working. I would venture to guess video, specifically live video, is working for you. Again, TikTok was the number one downloaded app. It's all video. YouTube is the number one search engine that people go to. That's video, right? And on every platform, live video is the most successful type of content, period. If there's a platform offering you the option to go live, that is going to be one of the most successful posts that you can have. I don't know about you, David, but several times a day, I'll get a notification on my phone that somebody just went live on Instagram, right?
Yep.
So it's going to push that out more than other types of content. Links are the lowest performing types of content. So if you're just posting a link to your listing, that's going to be the lowest performing type of content. Now, you can jazz up that link a little bit with video or a photo or something like that on it, but if you're just simply sharing the link, you're not going to see that content go as far. So video is crucial. Also, something else that we all should be paying attention to and doing on social media right now is remembering that this is another form of customer service. Especially for a small business. I will message a brand or a company through, IG, or message a company or brand through Facebook rather than pick up the phone and call them, right? So this is a customer service piece for you as well. And we need to treat it as such and respond quickly and appropriately. We all hear, unfortunately, we hear this all the time, that realtors never answer the phone. I know you and I hear that a lot. We even get consumers that message HAR saying, how do I get a realtor to answer the phone? So all you realtors that are listening to this, make sure you're answering your phone. But it's the same thing when it comes to me asking you a question through Instagram DMs or on a Facebook message. They want to get a response from you in minutes, not days, right? So it's really important to treat it as a customer service platform. This also would be a good time. It's the beginning of the year, right? People are still maybe working out their marketing, plan for the year, working out their business plan for the year, all that good stuff. It's always a good time at the beginning of the year to reevaluate your website, reevaluate all of your social media platforms. Make sure you have on your social media platform somewhere, make sure it says you're a realtor, right? Make sure that it says that you're with your current brokerage, right? Because if you're still showing the broker from, 3 brokers ago, that's not going to help you out.
Right.
So it's always a good time at the beginning of the year to reevaluate all of that and make sure all your contact information is easy to find. I would venture to guess some of you that are watching this, maybe you're on LinkedIn, but maybe you don't check LinkedIn every day, right? You might have some unread LinkedIn messages, people reaching out to you that maybe they're trying to give you a referral, or maybe they just have a question for you. If you know that you are just not the best at checking LinkedIn for messages, make sure your contact information is easily visible on your LinkedIn page. So it's really just a good time of year to go back and reevaluate all of those platforms.
Let me switch back to some viewer questions. Flora's asking, does content have to be real estate related?
So that is such a good question, Flora, and it actually leads into what I was about to mention, which is remembering to be authentic. Consumers have so much information at their fingertips. They can learn how to do just about anything on YouTube, right? They can get approved for a home loan online. They can tour the home online with things like virtual open houses and 3D tours. They don't have to put on their shoes. They don't have to pick up the phone and call you, right? So at the end of the day, why are they calling you? It's because they want to work. Humans want to work with other humans, right? They don't want to be another nameless, faceless purchaser. They want to feel understood. They want you to help them. They want you to guide them, okay? So as far as it being real estate related, with so many other realtors out there, if you're simply only posting, your listings and your open houses, you're not going to differentiate yourself. You're not going to stand out from the competition that way. Being your real authentic self is the best way to do this. Don't be afraid to tell your story. You don't have to share every detail of your life, right? But sharing highs and lows of what you're doing in your business, it makes you more relatable and it makes you human. So we've all heard people want to know you and like you and trust you before they do business with you. Sharing more than just the real estate related content allows people to get to know you a little bit more. Millennials get a lot of flack, and I can say that because I'm a millennial and I feel it. But people say millennials aren't buying homes. That's not true. The most recent NAR study showed that millennials are the largest home buying demographic. Right. Millennials, we want to connect with you. We want to be your friend, right? So if you are only simply sharing, your listings and your open houses and not telling me the behind the scenes of your day, or not sharing about this great Mexican restaurant you tried the other day, right? Then I'm not allowed to get to know you. So yes, Floor, you want to have business related posts, but you also want to let people get to know you a little more and see who you are behind the scenes. And just one more thing about content, because content is king. And as a realtor, you have so much content at your fingertips. A rule of thumb that I like to share with realtors is if you've been asked the question more than once, it's content. So how do I get pre-approved from home loan? How much home can I afford? Is it a good time to sell my home? Is it a good time to buy a home? Has this neighborhood flooded before, right? These are questions that you're likely asked on a daily basis. Start making note of those questions and then sit down and give us some content about it, right? Record a video about it. Go live and tell us about it. Because if you've been asked the question more than once, it's content. Now, this could be done in a variety of different places. You could do a blog, a vlog, YouTube channel. You could put this on your IG stories, your Facebook stories, or sit down like we are today and do a live stream, right? A longer form live stream. But remember, those are just the hows. Decide on the how, but also you really need to focus on the what. What is it that you're actually going to talk about, and use that as your opportunity to state your value to your customers.
So Rosie's asking if we're going to be offering at HAR TikTok classes.
Yeah, so HR does offer a variety of different branding and social media and video classes. There's several on our website that you can go take a look at. And of course, TikTok is going to be implemented into those. We don't have a standalone TikTok class, but it's of course implemented into the offerings that we currently have.
Well, many realtors see the benefit of social media marketing, but feel it's a huge time suck sometimes. How can realtors manage their time on social media, truly find the right mix in their workday?
So the problem and the reason that people think social media takes too much time is because they're just scrolling. If you find
I'm
yourself,
guilty of that. Yeah.
yeah, we all can be. It happens. You know, you want to zone out really quick, so you pull up your phone and just scroll, scroll, scroll. If you ever catch yourself sitting on social media, just scrolling, 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 you are wasting your time on social media. So,
That's true.
why is social media taking so much of your time? It's because you're not getting in there with a purpose and really just doing something effective. Maybe you pull up Facebook, you go through, you like some people's posts. Be effective though. You know, go, if you're connected with your clients and customers, go see what they're up to and like some of their like some of their posts, right? Maybe take 5 minutes and wish everybody whose birthday it is today happy birthday, right? So go in there and be effective. And really just stop scrolling, stop wasting time, and just use your time wisely and be intentional. If you know that you need to get in there and post something today, get in there, post, engage a few people, wish people happy birthday, and get out and get back to what else you need to be doing, because it is not your job to be on social media all day, every day, but it is really important to be intentional. And to be intentional, you do have to have a plan. So I would encourage you guys there's a ton of different templates on Google for like a social media content calendar. Maybe create something like that for yourself so that you're not wasting time trying to decide what to post. I already decided last week what I'm going to be posting about today, right? So those are just some great ways to save time.
Let me ask one of my own questions. Is it best to have like fixed times of day where you have, you're engaging either in a live forum or you're just making a post, or should you mix it up a little bit, have some variety in that?
You should absolutely mix it up. And there's going to be, different things that you want to convey in different ways. Maybe I have a listing that's about to hit the market. Maybe I just share one still image of that, right? Or maybe I have an open house this weekend and I share a link to that. Or maybe I'm at the open house and I go live and, before the open house starts, and I just, state, what I'm doing and where we are. I would encourage you to not give the exact address though, just for safety reasons. If you're doing a live or a walkthrough or something like that and you're going live, don't say I'm here at 123 Main Street and I'm all by myself. Come see me, right? That's not safe. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
But you can say I'm at this gorgeous home in Katy. You guys are going to love this home. Check out this backyard. Message me if you want the details or want to come by, and I'll give you the address, right? So number one, you're keeping yourself safe by doing that, but also you are encouraging that engagement.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because we are always sort of drumming into our members' minds the importance of safety, whether it's an open house. And I think, as you point out, it really needs to be factored into the messages you're conveying through social media. Well, Christina, what is the best way to kind of track the effectiveness of what you're doing? You mentioned earlier going into the metrics and seeing, who's watching and when and that kind of thing. But what else? Is it a matter of how many likes you get or follows, or is there something more substantial?
Um, there's a lot of different ways that you can measure it. And again, a lot of these platforms, if you're using business type pages, whether that be on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, they have those built-in metrics. You can actually see how you performed, even this month to last month, this week to last week. And so it's really easy to tell, but again, it's just a matter of taking time to do it. I actually report out our messages or metrics, to, the higher ups at HAR. I report those out monthly, but I like that I can actually take time every month and sit down and just see how we performed. What was my best performing post this month, and what was it, and how, what was it trending? Was it a trend, right? Or was it just a really great piece of content that people liked?
Well, another question. Speaking of trends, what would you consider the hot trends right now in general?
So trends are constantly changing and evolving. Trends come and go. Anybody that's on here that's on TikTok can tell you they change from day to day. So just pay attention to what you see is trending. Of course, on Twitter, you can go actually literally see what's trending by hashtag. But if you're seeing, like, recently, everybody was doing the 10-year challenge, right? We actually created our own version of that. So we did a 10-year challenge of the Houston housing numbers, right? And we compared 2011 to 2020, 2021, sorry. And people loved it. We got so
Yeah.
much great feedback. We had people saying, like, this is the best 10-year challenge I've ever seen. So pay attention to what's trending, but really make it your own and brand it for something that's going to be helpful to you and beneficial to you.
Yeah, I can see where you can really tailor that to, for example, your sales last month versus this month, or, really slice and dice it any way that works to promote your business.
Yeah, I mean, I used to see when the Throwback Thursday was a big thing that everybody was doing.
Right.
I would see people doing, like, here's a throwback of downtown Houston during the Cotton Exchange era, or they would do throwbacks, but to something in their area or their geo market, right? I live in the League City area. 10 years ago, a lot of this area was just land. There was nothing, right? But it's
Yeah.
grown so much. So as a realtor, if that's the part of town that you're in and you want to show, like, this throwback, or here's such and such elementary school, it's just a fun way to participate in some of those challenges, but really make it related to your brand and kind of keep the conversation on what you want them to talk to you about, which is real estate.
Yeah, and I know that when we did the 10-year challenge, what a contrast between the market, as you said, in 2011
Hmm.
versus last year, where we have reached, record high in terms of sales volume, in terms of pricing. And
Hmm.
the most phenomenal thing is all of this in the midst of a pandemic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Just phenomenal. And I've got to say, I think it seems like our members have really adapted to some of the changes you've talked about, the use of social media all through a pandemic, such that they're staying profitable. The market is buzzing, and at the end of the day, you and I are happy. We've got jobs, and HAR is thriving and
Hmm.
really doing its best to promote all of its members.
Social media really became a lifeline for people during especially the very beginning of the pandemic. People really leaned on it as just a way to connect.
Yeah.
But it's almost ingrained in us, and especially, somebody, Facebook users tend to be a little older, 30 and up. But we almost see it because so many of us have been on Facebook for so long. We almost see it as like a thing that I have to check in and see and do every day, right? But it also can be an amazing lifeline. So it's just really good for realtors to be that resource for consumers. Share information, but again, be intentional. Don't waste your time, and also remember to be a person that people can know, like, and trust.
Well, Christina, what about paid ads? I know some people find that that's a very effective use of their dollar. Overall, how does that perform?
They can definitely be effective if they're done correctly. And they can be so confusing. I get questions about paid ads all the time because it can
Yeah.
be very confusing, especially when you get in there in the ad center and you start to try to create your ad. But running ads to promote listings, open houses, you don't need to really get in there and try to figure out how to use it. Just use the HAR has a Facebook ad tool. We also have a Google ad tool. I would encourage you guys to utilize those. It's so easy and effective. It takes you minutes to just create this ad that is going to be in compliance. And is it going to get you into any trouble as far as fair housing and things are concerned? So I would use the Facebook ads tool, the Google ads tool. Those are the easiest and effective ways to do it. But also, let's say you create some really great piece of content. Maybe I took my time, I sat down, I made this, really helpful video as a resource and it's not getting a ton of views. Put a few dollars behind it and see what happens. And this is another thing where you can't just set it and forget it, right? You need to pay attention to it because especially if you're putting money towards it, you want to make sure that it's going to be beneficial to you. So put a couple dollars behind it, see what happens, and then come back and see how it's doing engagement wise, right? And if maybe it just didn't work out this time, try something different the next time. But super, super important though, create a budget for yourself because we don't want you just throwing dollars at your social media ads. Most realtors have a certain amount of money that they can spend on marketing. So if you're doing social media ads, make sure that you are not forgetting to factor in social media ads into your marketing budget.
We have a comment from Michelle. I've decided to focus on making more video and content. I'm just not sure where to start. How would you advise, Michelle?
Kind of going back to what we were saying earlier about if you're struggling for content, think about the common questions that you get and turn them into content. Again, how do I get approved for a loan, or how much house can I afford? Did this neighborhood flood? These are common questions you guys get daily. Create some content around it. Maybe you do just a really great, here's 5 tips for first-time home buyers. Here's 5 tips for sellers, or maybe even go a little more niche with it and do here's 5 tips for home sellers during a pandemic, right? Because the tips that you might give a home seller might be a little different now than they were 2 years ago.
Yeah. We have another question here. Greg Tina asks if you should have a personal page and a realtor page or just one of the above.
You can definitely do both. You're going to find that you're going to get more engagement on your personal page. So that's just what it is. And that's just how Facebook is designed. Your business pages, you might be hearing crickets. So it's really important to develop really good content for your business page. I'm not going to say any specific names, but there are realtor business pages that I go and I look at it and I see what they're posting and it's just listing, open house, listing, open house, listing, open house. That's not the kind of content that people are coming to Facebook to see. So make sure that you're not just creating a business page just to have one and you're only sharing listings and open houses. Create some better content over there so that people actually want to go look at it. And then do yourself a favor if you do have both. Take that post that you made on your business page and share it to your personal page, okay? Now, you guys can go to Trek's website or if you even just Google Trek social media rules, it will give you all the information that you need as far as what needs to be on those social media pages so that you're, following the Trek rules. But you're not required to have a business page. That is a debunked myth, I should say. You're not required to have a business page. There are many realtors who only use the Facebook personal page. They use it with a business mindset. They follow the rules that Trek has in place, and they're doing a great job. So it's completely up to you, but you're not required to have a business page.
Well, we're off and running in 2022. What do you see happening on social media for the rest of the year?
So, TikTok, again, it was already for the last 3 years the number 1 downloaded app. I see TikTok just growing and growing. I see that I foresee businesses really thriving and showing their personality a little bit more on TikTok. And that's a great way for realtors. Again, people can know you, like you, and trust you. Just getting to know who you are a little bit. What's really interesting about TikTok is 90% of the TikTok users, use the app daily. They are on TikTok daily. And I'm sure anybody watching this that has logged onto TikTok before can attest that it can be fun and it can be a time consuming to scroll through TikTok. But they're on TikTok daily, 90% of those people, and they spend an average of 52 minutes per day on that app. So TikTok is not going anywhere. Short form video, vertical video, using stories, it's not going anywhere. And it's really important for realtors to pay attention to it, start using it if you're not. Now, TikTok, you do have a little bit of a younger audience. The users, the largest demographic of users are 16 to 24 years old. So, we've got some younger demographic that will eventually be home buyers, right? But, again, if you're somebody who's watching this and you are a younger realtor, they're going to be your clients in a couple of years. So that's a great place to start building some of your branding. So again, TikTok is going to be huge. Video content, I believe, is going to continue to dominate across all the platforms. It shows in the metrics. And if you have not looked at your metrics, then you need to go look at your metrics and see what's working for you. But I believe video content will continue to dominate. Social audio is, I believe, going to become more popular. Again, early in the pandemic, Clubhouse came out and everybody jumped to Clubhouse and everybody got on Clubhouse. And a lot of people have stopped. They've gotten off Clubhouse, but you still have people creating rooms on Clubhouse. 100,000 plus rooms a day are created on Clubhouse still to this day. Now, Facebook also has a social audio version that they released shortly after Clubhouse came out. From what I've heard through the grapevine, they're going to continue to build that up, the social audio part of Facebook. I don't know if it's going to expand over to Instagram, but that's just, again, something else to consider. So social audio, if you're not aware of that, maybe go look that up and see what that's about. But, for those who don't want to get camera ready, that's a great way to just get on there and share some content. And especially, again, if it's the newest, latest, greatest thing that your platform is offering you, they're going to reward you for using it. So it would be good to get on that.
Well, I was going to say now, I know I've kind of taken over your show here, and we try to usually wrap up about 9:30. But all of a sudden, we've got viewer comments and questions. Stefan, asking if this is right. He's thinking you can't share from a business page to a personal page on Facebook unless you pay. Is that right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I see that now. Can't share from a business page to personal page on Facebook unless you pay. No, Stefan, you absolutely do not have to pay to do that. Yeah, that is free. And that's what's so great too about social media for realtors is everything we've talked about today, with the exception of those paid ads, everything is free and so easy to use. Yeah.
I call it the low-hanging fruit. I mean, it's right out there. Grab it, use it to your full advantage.
Yeah.
Laverne, should you accept a friend request from everyone on your personal page? Do you then need to be more careful with what you share?
Yeah, Laverne, so this is, again, we want to be safe. We want to be secure. But you also, again, especially, so David, do you know how old millennials are?
Well, you're in the zone, right? So
I'm in the zone. Yeah. So millennials they're born between 1981 and 1996, and its oldest members are turning 40 this year. Again, they're the number one home buying demographic, but they also, again, going back to what I said earlier, they want to be your friend. They want to connect with you. So you might see a friend request come in from somebody that you don't know, and it could be that they're just scoping you out. So, I'm not completely against, accepting a friend request. Typically what I will do, because I get friend requests, from people within the industry a lot that I maybe haven't necessarily met in person, but I don't just immediately accept or decline. I will go and see who they are. Maybe we have, 50 mutual friends. Maybe I see, they're with such and such brokerage, right? Or maybe it's a friend of a friend who's thinking about using my services, right? So you never really know. Just do a little research first, investigating, see if you can figure out who they are. And there's nothing at all wrong with accepting and sending a message like, hey, nice to connect with you, where do I know you from? Or is there something I can do for you? Or right. So just kind of offering yourself as a resource, because maybe that is why they're connecting with you, to get to know you a little bit better before they call you.
Well, I don't know if my screen froze or your screen froze, but hopefully I'm coming through. Another TikTok related question, Rochelle asking how TikTok is different from Facebook and Twitter.
So TikTok is only video. It is short form video. The longest video that you can post on TikTok is 3 minutes long. So you will see users, brands, creators doing different types of videos. Now, there's fun ways to replicate sounds. They have fun things called duets and things like that. So you'll see a lot of reaction videos and fun stuff on there. It really is just a fun way to kind of, again, pose yourself as a resource. We have one of our members, and I don't think she'll mind me shouting out her name, Katie Day, who I know you know, David. She's on TikTok, and she will sit down and just does like short form, kind of rapid fire question and answers, like, what's a great neighborhood in Houston, or what should I do if XYZ situation happens? And they're all real estate related, and they're just quick and easy, and just, again, a way for you to get your name out there. So to answer your question, it's different because it's only short form vertical video.
We got a question from Charlotte. I thought you could only post ads from business pages. Personal pages can't run ads, right?
That is true. Yeah, personal pages cannot run ads, so you can only do ads from business pages.
Another question here. We can squeak this one in. Rochelle, I heard not to friend with other realtors because they will steal your clients. Is that true, or is it fact or fiction?
I would say they're not a friend if they do that to you, right? No, I mean, people have different opinions on this. Especially if you're going to be marketing and sharing your listings and open houses, other realtors are going to see that as well. I literally just saw this morning a realtor I know posted some pictures of a coming soon home, and another realtor said, "Can you send me more information about this property?" So there's really, there's ways to collaborate and work with other realtors. Of course, not everybody's the nicest person in the world, so that could happen, Rochelle, but I don't see that happening as much. I do see a lot of realtors connecting with other realtors.
Well, I'm going to try to wrap things up here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you. So, where can our realtor members go to get more information, to pick your brain on the whole social media prospect? How can they take advantage of all that it offers?
So, like we mentioned throughout, and I know we've posted several links in the comments, but like we mentioned throughout, HAR does offer a wide variety of classes, including marketing, branding, and social media classes, video classes. So there's a lot that we offer. I would encourage you guys to go look on our education website. And because, we're a member-based organization, we offer these classes at a much lower rate than you'll find other places for our members. So I would really encourage you guys to take a look at that. Also, I didn't mention this at the beginning, but I do I do speaking engagements for realtors around the state of Texas, really. We've done these in person. We've done these on Zoom. So if you're a broker and you're wanting me to come talk about social media for your agents, or even just hop on a Zoom with you guys and talk about social media, then I can definitely do that. We put my email address in the chat as well. It's just social@hr.com. Pretty easy to remember. But I'm happy to come do like a 30-minute, 45-minute presentation on social media for you guys.
Well, Cristina, it has been such a pleasure turning the tables on you, having the opportunity to ask you questions about social media, because it is such an evolving platform. I mean, the whole concept of social media is really changing. And to your point, you want to try it, see what works. If something doesn't work, kind of pivot. And always such a pleasure. You do a phenomenal job hosting this. So thank you for giving me the trust and the privilege of hosting today.
Well, thank you so much, David. This has been great. I see our members thanking us in the comments. So thank you to all of you for tuning in. And that is it for this Member Focused Monday. We will be back next Monday at 9 a.m. and I will not be in the hot seat that day. I will have a different guest.
We'll be holding the reins again. Well, and thanks everybody for watching. Cristina, such a pleasure. Have a fabulous Monday, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.